What's up, folks? It's your boy, the Left-Legged Legend, and I'm here at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. And tonight was my first class teaching. I'm teaching legal aspects of special education, which is funny because, in having a disability, it really trips me out to think about the things and the accommodations that I need. And I've been working with students in special education since 1996. So I started teaching in 1994. Sorry, I'm getting my scooter ready so I can zoom through campus. I started teaching in 1994, and I hated teaching. I hated students. I didn't have any classroom management skills. I didn't have this. I came in on an emergency credential, so I didn't have to take any schooling or anything. And so it just really made it tough, It was, I didn't know what I was doing or how to do what I wanted to do until I found the special education class. And so in 1996, I got placed in a grade 3 through 5. And back then we called it learning handicap. And of course, back then I didn't have any disabilities or anything. And I think that one thing that has gotten me closer to my students, all students, college students, my high school students that I've taught, my students in prison that I've taught, is having a disability. Because now I understand, right? I understand how to, sometimes you got to take your time. Sometimes things don't happen in the time period that people want. Sometimes you need accommodations or you need things to be modified so that you can get there. So I say all that to say that my career has brought me to this, which I'm so glad, I'm so proud of myself to be in this situation. I needed a fresh start. And so going through everything with my leg is the challenge anyway, but then just having work challenges at my job. At my main job, I was working inside the prison, and somehow I became public enemy number one. And I would say, speaking on behalf of myself, I did it because maybe I was very confrontational. So I would tell them what I was going to do and how it was going to get done. I was up for the fight every day because I advocated for my students. And to me, I did everything that I was supposed to do. But I think in many cases, because it's the system, because it's a multi-billion-dollar system built on the incarceration of people, when you start bringing in programs, you start bringing in solutions, when you start changing the culture, you threaten people's jobs that don't really have the backup that I have. Like you could close the prison and I could go work. I'll be a principal at an elementary school. I could teach special education. I could teach college English, or I could teach teacher education courses. And so I have all these options for myself with my degrees and credentials that I've earned. But some of those people don't. They have high school diplomas. They're making 6 figures a year, and so somebody coming in and reducing the prison population, reducing recidivism is a threat. Now, of course, they'd say I was a horrible employee. I took advantage of the fact that I'm disabled or whatever, because in one of their communications with the retirement system, I'm trying to medically retire, they said that I wasn't that disabled, as if losing a leg is not that disabled. But anyway, and so I needed to start over because I've been fighting. When I worked there, I fought for my job. Now that I'm not there, I'm fighting for my retirement. I'm fighting to express myself as an excellent employee, and it's so easy, and not to politicize anything, but as a black man, it's easy for a job to call me a liar or a thief, because the stigma, the stereotype in America is because of my skin that those things would be true. So they were able to say, oh, well, he lied about this thing. And even the places that we would go when we go to these hearings, we go to the places where they call me a liar, the administrative judge or the commissioner or whoever would tell them to stop calling me a liar, but they won't, because it's so much easier to call me a liar with my black skin, in my opinion, because there are going to be places where I go where it doesn't matter if I could prove that I was telling the truth. Because of how I look, being called a liar or a thief is easy because that's the stereotype. And so I needed a fresh start. And this is my fresh start. This is my first day, quote unquote, living and working in Las Vegas, one of my favorite cities in America. And I'm really proud to be here. I have to shout out my boss who took a risk on me and gave me this. I have some interviews tomorrow for some more full-time positions. And of course, if you know me, you know that I want to work 2 or 3 jobs. My disability does not stop me. I don't want to be on disability. I don't want to not be working. I still want to put in another 5, 6 years and then retire, move off to the Philippines and live a happy life. But I wanted to get on here to say, young people need to start looking into teaching males. I got a classroom of students going into special education, and they're all female. Nothing is wrong with that. 80% of the teaching profession is female. But young black boys like me, young brown boys, young men in general need to have role models, people that they can look up to, people that can say, hey, I'm from the hood. I grew up in Compton, but look, I made it. I got 3 credentials and 3 degrees. I'm a doctor. You can do it. You can make it out of this. They need people. When I was working in prison, I used to say that I had, 2,500 sons, 3,200 sons, because even if they were older than me, these guys would look up to me and ask me questions and look for things. So we really need to do something about males in the education profession. People with disabilities, we limit people with disabilities in this country so much, but there's no need to limit me. I can't run, but I didn't like running when I had 2 legs. So I don't want to run. I don't miss running. I mean, it'd be nice to get one of those blades and run for fun. Hey, look, I can get on the treadmill, but I ain't about to be running miles. I hated running when I had 2 legs. So yeah, there's things that I can't do, but it's so much more that I can do. I can connect with people. I can be sitting anywhere in the world, y'all, and somebody will come up to me, and it's been not just because I don't have a leg, but even back, 20, 30 years ago, people just come up to me and tell me all their business, all the challenges that they're dealing with, disabilities they have. And I used to wonder, why do people get attracted to me to tell me all of this stuff? But I think that people just see that in you when you're around, and so I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be working with students. Teaching college is one of my favorite jobs. It's the one job I would do for free. If I could afford it, I would teach college for free, because I love it. I love working with students. I like the level of education and conversation and interaction that I can have with college students. I'm getting a little too old to be working with high school students and middle school and elementary school students, although I may end up having to do that. But I'm putting it in the air that I want to do this full time. I want to represent for those of us who do have differences and different abilities, and show that I could step in here or roll up in here. I drove the scooter today because I didn't know where my class was, and I don't want to be stuck walking. I get all sweaty. But I'm really happy, and this is the fresh start that I needed because I've been fighting so much for so long, dealing with medical issues, losing my leg, and then going back to work after losing my leg, and then having issues with the job. And as much as I hate the place and I hate the way that it was led and how they dealt with me and tried to vilify me, and violate my civil rights, I can say that some of it was me too. I mean, I was coming back to work without my leg. So when the punk ass vice principal would say, it only takes, normal people only take 7 minutes to walk in from the front. It took you 15 minutes. Of course, I'm going to respond with some insubordination. Well, how long did it take you to put your leg on when it fall off? Or, how long did it take you to learn how to walk on your prosthesis? And so some of it was maybe my attitude, but I was just not in that place to be at question. I was learning how to walk on a prosthesis. So, they could miss me with that. But it was a definite violation of civil rights. They would cut off my insurance. I mean, it's so much. I should just do a blog on that so you can see how we inhumanely treat people with disabilities. And I left there with 2 legs, and I came back with 1 leg, and the treatment that I got was totally different. It was this expectation to walk faster, work harder, do more, try, but sometimes you're limited by your thing. So please, if you do encounter people with disabilities, understand that it's a little different. It's going to take time. I got 1 speed. I tell people all the time, my speed. And I'm going to go at my speed. I'm not going to rush for you, and I'm not going to trip myself up trying to make some time management thing. And so, new start, fresh start. This is your boy, the left-legged legend, Dr. Left-Legged Legend, UNLV professor. I'll talk to you later.